right? Peace and blessings to the family. Love and light. Salute to the kings, to the queens of the universe, of the planet Earth. You already know what time it is. It's Black News, Omnivision EDU family. You already know what we come to do, family. We got a bill. I wanted to talk about Donald Trump calling Charlemagne the God a racist sleazebag, right? And a low IQ individual. Okay, so he called him a racist sleazebag, and he called him a low IQ individual. All right, and the reason I believe he did this is because he disagreed, all right, with Trump and his promises when it came to the presidency and the things that he was saying he was going to do for the country. Now, he went on Fox News July 31st with Laura Trump, and he was asked a question that was along those lines. You know, what do you think about the presidency and how things are going? And he pretty much said, you know, things are going horribly. I believe a bill that was just passed, they call it the Big Beautiful Bill. They got new things that they passing that's in office. And a lot of the times, you know, the average citizen don't even know these laws. They don't even know these new ideas that they're coming up with, family. So anyway, from what I hear, it could affect Social Security. It could affect food stamps, Section 8 housing for a lot of black people. There's a video where Donald Trump was saying African Americans built America. All right, if you want to go check it out, go look it up on your own time, and you'll find it, family. So if African Americans built America, why would you constitute laws and make decisions that would affect African Americans negatively? All right, so that's why I agree with Charlemagne the God. This is United States of America. We have the right to freedom of speech. He was asked a question. He responded to the question truthfully and honestly, and I don't think there should have been any backlash about that. But since you have narcissist individuals, right, who on their high horses, they don't believe that they can be wrong. How dare you say I was wrong? How dare you say I made a mistake, right? Because they can't be humble, family. And so I agree with Charlemagne the God, man. They need to tighten up. If they're making decisions that's affecting African Americans negatively, and it's recorded in history that we built the country, you know what I'm saying? Why would you make those type of decisions that would affect us in that way? So I agree with that. So another thing that I wanted to share too, family, was that's this individual who, you know what I'm saying, I felt was like, you know what I'm saying, they was cool, a cool spirit, conscious brother. Is a continental African. The brother, he from the continent, but he work in the store or whatnot. So we ended up chopping it up one day because he said something that caught my attention. I believe he was listening to an audio book, and I was just trying to see what he was on. But come to find out, the brother is what I believe he reads the Quran, so he's Islamic. All right, so he's continental African. He believes in the Islamic faith. And I told him that I'm a naturalist, right? And my main thing is science and spirituality. I'm spiritual, but like I said, I like to be grounded in earth, mechanics, so we understand how things work, why things work. And anyway, we kind of got into it a little bit. He disagreed. I disagreed with certain stuff. Some things we did agree on. But when I ended up leaving, when I was leaving out the store, the guy, he was like, hey, man, you really said some things that really challenged me to think, man. Like, you really said some things that, and that's my whole thing. I'm not trying to force people to be me or believe like me or think like me. I know we're different people. But I know that we all see the sun, we all see the moon, we all have seen the stars, family. We all are part of this universal coexistence. And so that's is a few things that we can all agree on, that we're all a part of nature, we're all a part of the universe. The laws of physics apply to every being, no matter what your religion is. We all need oxygen. It's just fundamental, basic things that you can't skip across that. Like, no matter what religion, no matter what, you know what I'm saying, the laws of physics apply to every being. And so I believe that nature is the foundation of life, and that's why we are existing, right? The energies, the conditions, and everything is set just right for things to be, for life to thrive. And so I believe that nature is the divinity, and before any man documented, because that's all the Bible is, it's ancient civilizations or societies who documented, right? Like any civilization would do who's educated, they would document their occurrences, they would document, the things that they seen, and sometimes in an artistic fashion, things that influence them. All right? And so that's the way that I see the ancient writings. And I told one guy I was working with one time, I told him, hey man, like I said, if you're looking for a religion to be authentic and you want to see which one is the realest one, you should look for the one that has never been revised. And I feel like the writings where you can show an original before it was translated into a different language and is written in stone. If you guys have ever heard, so let it be written, so let it be done. When you document in stone, there's a thing called the emerald tablets, where an Egyptian teacher and ruler they call him Thoth or Thoth or something like that. But anyway, he's an educator, all right, of the ancient world. And he has this thing called the emerald tablets, and where they was actually inscribing information inside of a tablet, inside of an emerald. All right, so the ancient civilizations are very advanced. No matter what modern Western civilization tell you guys, the people of the past were much more smarter, much more intelligent, and much more healthy than the people today. They didn't have Bojangles, they didn't have McDonald's, they didn't have Burger King, family. They didn't have that stuff. They didn't have TV distracting them from learning how to adapt and survive and sustain in the world and environment that they're in, family. We have things that distract us from surviving, from sustaining in the environment that we're in, because we're in domesticated, we're in a domesticated situation. So that's how I look at colonialism. That's how I look at slavery. Guy once asked me one time, like, hey man, why you feel like history and all this stuff is so important, man? That's back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, everything correlates, right? What I do today has an effect on tomorrow, right? If I woke up tomorrow and forgot my name and forgot my keys and forgot where I lived and forgot my job, a lot of things would be off track because I wouldn't know where to pick up, family. I would be lost. And so the past, the present, and the future are all interconnected. And so if you don't know the past, then you're destined to repeat the past. And so we have to learn from our mistakes. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to be humble. It's okay to say, all right, I made a mistake. I was wrong that time. Let me try to fix it. Let me try to correct it. And so that's what we on. But I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I just disagree with Donald Trump slandering and name calling just because somebody doesn't agree with you. That's why me and the brother at the store, we tried to build, but we could have had a better build, if people wouldn't get emotional about a disagreement. Okay, you disagree. All right, I disagree. We can move forward and come to some type of conclusion, some type of mutual understanding if we see the consistencies, the inconsistencies. Show me why you disagree. That's the next step. Okay, you disagree. Now, why do you disagree? You feel me? And it's really that simple. It's basic 1, 2, 3, family. So I look at it, like a scientist. You come to the table with your notepad. You know what I'm saying? You done took document of your experimentations, your trials, your clinical, you know what I'm saying? And you're looking for consistencies, inconsistencies. You're looking for what went wrong, what went right. All of that stuff matter, family. So that's the way I approach things, with a solution-based mind, not an emotional-based mind. And a lot of people, when it comes to their religion, you know, even though they're trying to strive and be, you know, I guess a better person or be more advanced spiritually or whatever, you know, it's like, you know, it's a root to it, family. And like I said, the universalism is where I'm at with it. It's like anything that's not universal, it's not of the creator, family. It's a man-made idea that an individual created to try to separate themselves from the collective. All right? Like I said, we're all under the same sun, moon, and stars. All right? But yeah, I hope y'all have a blessed day. I don't know if y'all agree with Charlemagne the God, but I appreciate people who are able to articulate themselves, be honest when somebody asks you a question, and try to be solution-based, right? Donald Trump, you know, he's doing things, but the things that he's doing is for himself, for his own cause, for his own narrative, for the things that he care about. That's the thing about value systems, right? The things that an individual value is about the things they care about, right? You can be talking, making all the sense in the world. If an individual don't care about it, then, you know, what does it matter? Until they get sick, right? Till you told them about alkalinity, till you told them about, you know, about health and wellness, and then they face a health scare, and then they're in the hospital, and they need some alternatives, right? So that's normally when people are more, you know, receptive to information and building. It's when they need you. And so, yeah, you can make all the sense in the world, be talking all the sense in the world, but if it's not based on an individual needing, then it's just not the same energy, family. But I'm not coming with that type of energy. I just want to, I don't know, some type of way help the world. Like, feel like I'm doing something to make things better. You feel me? And I believe education is a good place to start. It's because you got to teach your kids. You have to re-educate yourself. You have to reprogram yourself. You see, we in America, right? And we came up descendants of slaves. Our ancestors, we know, anti-literacy laws was in America, illegal for Negroes to read, right? Only person that could read was the preacher with the Bible. So he can go around teaching other slaves to be humble, to be submissive, to turn the other cheek. There's a such thing as the slave Bible. Y'all go and look that up. But anyway, like I said, if it ain't, you know, we in America, family, and we just need to know our roots. You know what I'm saying? Like I shared a post earlier this morning. If you go to my page, I couldn't help but notice when I was in the store that every nation has its own currency. Every nation has its own currency, right? And I'm looking like, you know, India, like they got what, Gandhi. You feel me? Like, I'm just looking, seeing the different currencies. Go to my page, you'll see it, family. I think Jamaica had, they had Marcus Garvey, though. Love and light to the family, Ashe. Love and light to the goddesses. Yeah, so yeah, Marcus Garvey, he's on the money in Jamaica. But it's like we living in America and there's a European on the money, right? We living in America and there's a European on the money, but we don't look like them. So like I said, that was just something that came to my mind. I'm like, dang, every nation has their own currency, and the people that's on the currency look like them. But we living in a nation where there's not one person that's on the currency that look like us. And so, you know what I'm saying? And we've been in America all this time. We only had one black president, family. One black president. All these different terms, right? And so I don't know. It's just a few things that need to be reevaluated. Somebody need to start explaining themselves. Somebody need to start asking some questions. And it just got to be more solution-based for me, family. But, yeah, you know, We in this land. You know, I believe that we was here before the land was colonized. I do believe that. I believe we was here before that. I don't believe that all indigenous people, black people, native people, I don't believe that they were brought here on ships. You know what I'm saying? That's a narrative that they use in Western education to try to give the notion that they were on the land first, that they brought us here. No, the native and indigenous people were here first. That's what I believe. But it's on y'all, family. Make sure you like the live. Make sure you share the live. Right? If you want to follow me on YouTube, hit up the channel tag Nature God 2126. That's NTRGOD 2126, family. All right? If you want to hit me up on the TikTok, that's OmniVision EDU 360. All right? OmniVision EDU 360, family. All right? Love and light to everybody. Ain't going to hold y'all too long. If you agree, if you disagree, make sure y'all put it in the chat. All right? Peace and blessings.